Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the match preview for the FA Cup semi-final, Chelsea versus Manchester City, Wembley Stadium. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, it's here. Chelsea back at Wembley again. We don't have a good record at all. We all know this, the streak that we're on. Having lost our last 6 domestic cup finals, but actually our last win at Wembley was an FA Cup semi-final. Yes, it wasn't against Manchester City. It was against Crystal Palace. It's slightly different, but maybe we do better in semi-finals than we do in actual finals. And to be honest, as Pochettino said in his presser today, this game is basically a final because if we lose, we don't get another game at Wembley. So we've got to be treating this like a final. I guess it's going to feel like a final in a way. It's two massive sides. It's at Wembley. Really, this should be the final. Yeah, I mean, it might be slightly biased on that, but this should be the final. In my opinion, it'll be a much better final than what we might end up with. But yeah, lots to go through in a preview, guys. Obviously, some good news on the injury front. Pochettino's press conference. FA Cup replays. I'll give my thoughts on those being scrapped, whether it's a good thing, a bad thing, or whether it doesn't really make too much difference. It's all going to dive into the lineup and what this means for the season. Because for me, right now, this game tomorrow, this defines our season right now. If we go out, then you'd have to say the season will end up being a disappointment. You know, if we end up getting Conference League and nothing else, that goes down as a disappointing season in my book. Yes, it's progress from last year, but it ended up being a disappointing season. We need this. The season rests on this game tomorrow. We have to turn up. We have to give it our best. I'm not saying that, oh, we must win. Of course, we all want to win and everyone wants us to win. The players want to win. Everyone else, but the club wants to win. The most important thing is we turn up, we apply ourselves, we give it everything. If we come up short, having left everything out there, you come up short, you hold your hands up, you lose out to the better side on the day. But yeah, I have to say that I feel cautiously optimistic on this one. We've not lost to Man City this season. We have caused them problems 100%. We've scored 5 goals against them this season. Admittedly, we've shipped 5 as well. But we did cause them problems, and we arguably could have won both those games. We had the opportunities to do so if we defended better and if we'd taken our chances. Certainly at the Etihad, we could have been out of sight, and we could have certainly won that game up there. So I do believe we can cause them problems. I do believe that they can be got at defensively. Yes, there'll be a wounded animal having been knocked out of the Champions League. They're going to be wanting to get straight back onto things and not have 2/3 of the treble wiped away in the space of a couple of days. So yeah, they're going to be hungry. It's going to be tough. It's always tough against Man City. Everyone's got to be bang on it. No one can be 0.5% off. If you're 0.5% off and you don't do your job, you're half a yard short on your man. Forget it. Long day for us. Everything has to be perfect. Turn up, play the game, not the occasion. Don't get overawed by the occasion. But hopefully we'd have learned from the Carabao Cup final where maybe we let the occasion get the better of us. Maybe we retreated into our shells. Maybe just like players couldn't live with the situation. Hopefully we were more experienced now and better off for that experience now that we arrive at Wembley again. Cole Palmer FC, can he step up and deliver once again this season? The top 2 scorers in the league going head to head, although Pep's been playing his usual mind games that he plays in the presser, saying that Erling's a doubt. You know, he was subbed off with a muscular problem against Real Madrid. He asked to come off. We know full well, come 4:15 tomorrow afternoon, Erling Haaland will be in that Manchester City starting lineup. Let's not fall for Pep's games. And even if he ends up not being in there, you prepare for him as if he's going to play. It's as simple as that. In terms of, more positive news, I mean, Enzo Fernandez back, Axel Disasi back, and Christopher Nkunku, yes, he is still alive. Somewhere in Cobham, he is there. He's back in partial team training. Same with Robert Sanchez. I'm not really asked about that. And then obviously the rest are, as you were, long-term absentees. But yeah, a little bit of good news on the injury front. Raheem Sterling returns. I mean, say good news. It's another option potentially that we can have. You're going to need the bench. Sterling actually played well against Man City at the Etihad. I'm not saying he's going to start this game, nor should he, in my opinion, but options from the bench are going to be important as well. And we've not had much in the way of game changers on the bench in recent weeks due to our injury problems. So yeah, that's obviously good that those 3 players are back and available. Enzo, Disasi and Sterling, and Christopher Nkunku is obviously back in partial team training. I've got to be honest, the press conference today, the standard of questions in a presser are so poor, and they've been poor for a long while now. You've got journalists asking, it's an FA Cup semi-final. You've got journalists asking Pochettino about fucking lemons in his office. You know, we're preparing for an FA Cup semi-final. Ask about the game. Ask things that people want to know. No one asked anything about Levi Colwill. What's going on with that injury there? No one's. People are asking about Cole Palmer again. Palmer again. Do you know what I mean? Why are we constantly asking questions about Cole Palmer? What else could Pochettino possibly have to say about Palmer? I get it. It's a topic of conversation. He's playing very well. And of course, there's going to be questions around him. But how much can be said? You know, there was no real insight or questions asked about, you know, the game itself in particular. You know, yeah, difficult game. All the usual generic stuff. I mean, to be perfectly honest, part of me just thinks half the time presses should just be scrapped. Like this, until the standard of questions improve and you actually ask things that fans want to know and people want to know. I didn't get anything from this press conference today that I thought, yeah, that's good information. You know, I needed to know that. Didn't know that. They're all so generic and they're all just, it's almost like it's a tick box exercise. Maybe there should just be one a week. Maybe there should just be one a week, and maybe you do a pre-recorded something with the club's in-house channel or whatever, and then that goes out. You know, just talking about the game and team news and whatnot. I think that's a much better way of doing things, because to be honest, in this presser, there wasn't really anything covered whatsoever. I mean, yeah, people want to know about Nkunku, fine, but like I've already mentally checked out on Nkunku for this season as soon as he got injured. But you know, Pochettino saying that Nkunku could be back this season. We will assess him day by day. He's in part of our training sessions, and we will see how his body reacts. We hope we have him back before the end of the season. Yeah, it is what it is. Nothing too much more to add on that front. But please, if you're a journalist in a press conference, don't waste questions asking about stupid stuff. Actually ask things that are going to be beneficial to the wider public and Chelsea fans that aren't in a position to ask the manager questions. Actually ask things that matter, because too many times this season we've just got crap questions and crap press conferences. And yeah, it's just basically a waste of time. So that 100% needs to improve. Before I dive a bit more into the game, FA Cup replays have been scrapped, causing a bit of a hoorah. You know, I get it. You know, obviously the Premier League and the FA have decided that. I get it for the Premier League sides. You know, the fixture congestion, you're not really going to be wanting to play extra games. But having said that, you know, there's not that many replays. It goes in a midweek. I think the bigger problem is that a decision's been taken without consulting the EFL or and the other teams involved. It's obviously much more beneficial for those lower teams. You know, if you get a replay and you go to a big ground, it's massive for revenue, it's massive for money, it's massive for exposure, and all those kind of things. And I think it does, in a way, it does slightly devalue the competition to a certain point. Yes, I'm all for getting a result on the day in 90 minutes. Why do we need to go and play again? I don't think you can be in a situation where you're picking and choosing what games go to replays. But yeah, I don't know. I think it does devalue the competition in a way. I don't know if cup replays are necessarily causing fixture congestion. You know, what if you had a couple of replays over the course of the season? It's 2 extra games. I mean, is it really causing that much fixture congestion? Or maybe just don't have replays after the 3rd round. Get to the 3rd round. You can have replays up until the 3rd round. And then after the 3rd round, there are no replays. And that way, the Premier League sides, you know, and the people that have been moaning about it, you get the best of both worlds. Maybe that could be some sort of compromise on that front. But yeah, I can understand both points of view. I get it. You know, I get it from the fixtures point of view, not wanting extra games, but I also get it from these can be life-changing games for smaller clubs. And, you know, not consulting with the pyramid and just taking a decision on your own is quite poor in my view. But let's get back to the game itself. There are a few selection dilemmas for Pochettino, because who are we going to play at centre back? Who's going to play left back? Who's going to play in the 3 behind the striker? You know, there are a few decisions to be made. I'm going to go through the team that I would like to see. And obviously it's going to be Petrovic in goal. No questions asked on that front. Petrovic in goal. Malo Gusto will play right back. We know that already. For me, big occasion, Wembley. Thiago Silva will maintain his place, in my view. We kept a clean sheet. We kept a clean sheet last time out, the first time in 13 games. Silva, for me, having come back into the side over the last 2 games, let's keep him in there, in my view. And then I'm going with Chalobah. I think Silva and Chalobah as a pairing over the last couple of games have actually looked all right. And look, I know Disasi's been a mainstay in the team, and he's pretty much played every game this season bar the Everton one, and he missed one other one, I think. And I get it. He played very well against Man City at the Etihad, probably had his best game in a Chelsea shirt. But I'm always one for continuity. But I've just so I would stick with that. I think it's important that you get to gel as a unit, and if you've kept a clean sheet, then you need to stick with that back line, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Cucurella. I'd stick with the same back line. Look, Chilwell, I know, was back and played some minutes. If he's fit and he's ready, he probably will get the nod in Pochettino's mind. But for me, I think Cucurella has done pretty well. Yes, he's not going to give you as much going forward as Chile is, but I think actually he is better defensively. So yeah, and defense is going to be really important tomorrow. So I'd stick with the same back line, although I'm fully expecting Disasi and possibly Chilwell to come in Pochettino's team. We know that Moises Caicedo is going to play in the midfield, at a superb game against Everton. This midfield battle is going to be massive up against the likes of Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne or Foden, whoever ends up being in there. Kovacic, maybe if he plays, who knows. So Caicedo, it's a big game. Him and Jackson don't have to worry about getting booked because, the bookings don't count towards a suspension domestically in the FA Cup. So there's no problems on that front. Enzo Fernandez is back. I think, there was umming and ahhing about whether he's going to have this hernia surgery, which might keep him out for 3 weeks. Get through this game. Maybe we do it after that, or maybe we do it at the end of the season. I'm not sure. But if he's fit and he's ready to go, he plays, in my view. So we put Enzo in there. For me personally, and I know this is going to might seem a bit wild to a few people, but obviously Cole Palmer starts right-hand side. That's actually no. For me, I'd start Palmer centrally, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Palmer played centrally Monday night, and because we actually for the first time played 2 genuine touchline wingers, they pinned the fullbacks back, and that created a lot of space for Palmer to get more time and operate centrally, picking up those half pockets and whatnot. That was a lot better, and there's no surprise for me that when we played genuine touchline wingers, Palmer looked a lot freer and a lot better in that central role. So for me, it's Mudryk and Madueke, with Cole Palmer as the 10, and then Nicholas Jackson leading the line. Now, you might think, oh, well, why is Conor Gallagher not there? For me personally, I liked that 3 behind. Yes, it was against Everton. They're obviously a much worse team than Man City, but Man City can be got up defensively, in my view. Again, if Enzo's not 100%, you're not going to bench him. Enzo's always going to play. That's the thing. I know Gallagher's not going to miss out, and it'll be one of Mudryk or Madueke that starts on the bench, but both should be started in my mind, because there's no doubt about it. Genuine touchline wingers pinning opposition fullbacks back, and Palmer was able to pick up those extra pockets of space centrally and be very effective from a central area that we've not seen at times when he's played in there this season, because we've not played 2 genuine touchline wingers that are able to do that, push their men back and take players on one-on-one. That's the team that I'd be going with. Man City absolutely can be got at. They are there for the taking. They have played 120 minutes in midweek. Let's not pretend that doesn't make a difference. It might not be a massive difference, but it certainly makes some sort of difference. But yeah, that for me is the team that I would go with. I'm expecting Gallagher to obviously play, and I think Disasi and Chilwell will probably play as well. But the basis, I think, will be the same as what Pochettino goes with. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on my chosen side, guys. Yeah, the time is now to stand up and to be counted and to deliver and leave everything out on that pitch. Yes, Cole Palmer is going to be instrumental. We can't just leave everything to him. Everyone else needs to step up and do a job. No giving away stupid fouls in dangerous areas. Make sure everyone's picking up a man at set pieces. No individual mistakes. Don't drop off half a yard. Don't sit deep. We've got to be at it from minute 1 until minute 90. There's a possibility of penalties and extra time. I actually think this game is not going to be like, I'd be shocked if either side won by more than a single goal. I really would. I don't think there's going to be much in it at all. chances, I think, will be few and far between. And it's going to be about who defends better and who takes their chances when presented with them, because both teams will get chances. It just depends. Are we going to have our clinical boots on, or are we not going to have, or are we going to have something else on? So yeah, they're there for the taking. City are there for the taking. We've not lost to them this season. We can do this. Are we going to do it? I don't know. But you've got to have some hope and you've got to have some belief. So I'm going to say a narrow 2-1 Chelsea win after extra time is my prediction. Let me know your predictions in the comments, guys. We need to do this. Season rests on this. Come on, Chelsea. We've got to get to Wembley, get to another final, and then end that finals curse. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here. See you at Wembley, up the Chelsea, and peace out.